Welcome. Hi. So, if you've recently been on the internet, I think you know about this wizliz situation. But what got me thinking was the reaction that Indian men were having to this. So, that's kind of what I want to unpack today. But before we do that, I just want to give you a little intro on Wizliz and her content. So, if you're a woman who's into this type of content, manifestation, angel numbers, high feminine energy, I think you would have gotten her in your FYP. Or if you're just a girl, just a girl going through some hard times, the algorithm picks that up and suggests you her content. And that's how I came across her, and I've come across her multiple times. But I don't think I'm like her target audience. So I did a little bit more of sleuthing around. I researched her, and that was just me putting her name in the YouTube search bar. And I came across this YouTube video by Weiwei or YY, where she gets into her content a little bit more. And I just want to sum it up for you. So, Wiz Liz portrays herself as the ultimate high value woman. And since she's a high value woman, she expects other high value men to treat her and to treat her with gifts, money, and just look after her. But I think she just clings to these self help cliches and doesn't really show us any genuine growth. Also, there's a lot of just inconsistency in her own advice, and her own behavior sometimes doesn't align with it. And all of this advice kind of steers towards the sugar baby category, and it seems very entitled, and it's very focused on external validation instead of genuine human connection. And I think this is her response. As a child, she didn't have a lot, but again, she can't be helping other traumatized people if she herself is having a trauma response to it. But I think in the end, her type of content is just a little bit of a motivational bump that you get. I don't think we can like follow her literally. Okay, so now I want to discuss what happened. On May 27th, Liz announces on her Instagram stories that her fiance Landon cheated on her or tried to cheat on her, because honestly, loser, he couldn't succeed at cheating. So he's doing all of this while she's 4 months pregnant. And now the internet starts reacting to this. So now the internet is reacting, and I want to go with the worst reaction to have, which is she deserves this. This reaction is just like a pure misogynistic reaction. I have no defense for this, just people suck. And this is one of those reactions. And also, there are women having this type of reaction to this news. And I want to point out this one Indian YouTuber, Saloni Singh, and she talks about this in her video, and it's just such a horrible take to have. And people in the comments really call her out. That's the saving grace of this. And obviously, we have the good old men giving us their good old reaction of she deserves this.
Date other people. Why are you only dating one person? I don't get it. Like, why is literally one person your only option? Girl, you have the strength like Wizardliz.
स्ट्रेंथ तो चाहिए भाई, पूरी दुनिया को ज्ञान चोद के खुद चुदने में।
प्यार नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि लड़के लोग धोखेबाज होते हैं। अगर लड़का का गलती से भी शादी हो गया तो उस लड़का का वाइफ नूरी हो जाएगी और उसके बच्चे कलवा कलवी हो जाएंगे।
And among the multitudes of men hating and saying she deserves this, I noticed a lot of them seem to be Indian. I think this extreme response by these Indian men are one of the reasons are that entitled male ego that seems to be hurt, and just this cultural entitlement that Indian men have. And obviously, I can give a lot of examples for this, such as any Vanga Reddy movie, Kabir Singh, Animal, all of them just exemplify this. And we have the good old mother son dynamic duo in an Indian household, where the son is just coddled and he's not expected to have any type of accountability, whereas the girls are expected to stay quiet, forgive, and adjust. And when girls are not adjusting and they're kind of calling out men on this shitty behavior, some of them seem to be triggered, and their favorite strategy is just to belittle and make fun of them. Or in another case, just spread hate and say she deserved this, and women. Now, the next category, I want to call them analyzers because they will analyze why Landon cheated on Liz. They'll give you 10 to 20 reasons as to why they broke up.
Was a fairy. Yeah, yeah, she was a fairy. Yeah, yeah, she was a fairy. Yeah.
I think this is just a pretty shit thing to do. Like, you cannot really tell me why Landon cheated on her. You don't know what's going on through Landon's mind, and you don't know why Liz got cheated on. Maybe there's no rationalizing this experience. Not up to us. This seems to be a deeply personal thing to her, and I don't think we are anybody to be rationalizing this. So I just thought it's just kind of bizarre, and I included it. So now we have some girlies reacting to
Mother
it.
Liz was cheated on while she was 4 months pregnant. That woman had to go through this. Us mortals, us little peasants. How are we gonna survive? I'm disappointed. Like, disappointment is an understatement right now.
Yeah, I think it's a horrible take to have. So in the reel, our feminist Rida Tarana says how Mother Liz got cheated on, and if Mother Liz got cheated on, what do we peasants have a chance, right? And she's not the only one who's saying this. There are other women also having the same take. Guys, no, that's not true at all. I don't think we should be putting Wizardliz on any type of pedestal. Though she claims to be a high value woman, that does not make her value more than you or me. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't deserve to get cheated on. Neither do you, neither do I. I don't think any woman or man deserve to get cheated on. I think everyone deserves to be in a happy, healthy relationship. So yeah, a horrible take and a little bit anti-feminist, honestly. And now we have the good old not all men defense. And there are so many trends of this. One example is this reel. He is trying to be like, no, not all men, because his girlfriend is a little angry that, oh no, Wizardliz got cheated on, oh my god. And obviously, then there's this other trend. He's just going to flex his biceps saying justice for Liz. And I think this response, honestly, guys, when we say men, we don't mean you in particular. You don't have to deflect. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to be like, oh no, not all men. That's my haters response, honestly. I think men just give this because they hate sitting in the discomfort. They just hate it, and they think it's just like a big critique on just this male identity they have. Guys, just don't just don't say not all men. I know not all men, and it's implied. I When I say men, it does not mean all men, and it does not mean you. And now, on to the last category. I like to call this the gray area because I think it's not a black and white situation, it's like a good gray in between. I think a lot of people fall in this category, or I hope they do, and including me, I fall in this category. And I'm just going to tell you what I think about this situation. I think it's a very shitty thing for her to go through. I hope she recovers. I hope she heals, especially with a baby on the way. All the more power to her. And she comes out of this stronger. And also, I kind of understand that this situation is not a failure of Wizardliz or a failure of womanhood, and it's just a very sad human experience that she had to go through. With all of this conversation that we have started, I hope that there is a breakdown of this high value culture and just this myth of the perfect woman. And this really proves that this illusion is not very sustainable, and no amount of self curation can really prevent you from harm. In the end, we're all just humans, good, bad, just humans, deeply flawed, emotionally questionable, and we're just trying to survive and hoping to be better. With all that said, I think I've said my point and I've reached the conclusion. Before I leave, I really just wanted to show the quote on the bookmark that I'm holding, and it says, "To err is human, to forgive canine." It kind of makes no sense, but it also kind of does, and it's really cute. And I just want to leave you with that. Anyway, I hope I made some sense, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.